The last part I want to mention, this isn't really part of the chapter, but is not going to be a really good specific moment to bring it up. But we talked about last episode where the Mauthen farm might be as far as a historical place with the Greystones and the barrows. It's called Barrow Hill and that kind of information. So like, where could it be? I think the most likely answer is this is where the Adem were when the 99 Stories was created. Because when Cheyenne tells that story, she goes, "You should know that in those days, use of the bow was very common. The skill of it was much prized. We were shepherds and much set on by our enemies, and the bow was the best tool we had to defend ourselves." So the shepherd part sticks out because the pig farmer, the Shem, he talks about how good that area was for his pigs to graze. So even though like he felt this woods was like fucked up, he was like, it's good enough for grazing for my pigs that it's worth it. And then she also mentions that, as I have said, this was long years and distant miles from where we sit. So it was very, where they are currently located when the 99 Stories was created, they were distant miles from where they ended up. So that would obviously, the Mauthen farm is distant miles from Ademre. And then also, when Cheyenne tells the story of the Chandrian, she tells about how there were 7 that betrayed cities, but there was one who remembered the Lothani and did not betray a city. And when you think about the vase that is found, there's the 7 Chandrian, and then there's 1 Amir on there. So there's 8 people. So the only person who tells a story about the Chandrian plus 1 is Cheyenne. She tells, the story of the Chandrian and one who remembered the Lothani. So that could be the Chandrian and the 1 Amir that is on the vase. So it could be that vase was created by them, because obviously this story that they tell about the Chandrian is something that gets passed down, and so they could have created a vase about it. And it could be also too, when on the 99 Stories, the 2 people, their names were Aeth and Wraith, and Aeth was like standing and by some trees, and then Wraith went up to a hill. She was standing on a hill. That's where, when they had their arrow fight, that's where they were. So she was on a hill. The Mauthen farm's got that hill there where the Greystones are. That's where Kavoth and Denna hide out from the Drakis, and that's where they're going now. So when you combine all 3 of those things, the shepherd, the distant miles, the vase, the hill, it all fits perfectly with the Adem's 99 Stories story. So I think that's the most likely guess of what was there.
Yeah, as far as that goes, you're blowing my mind with stuff, because why I would ever relate those 2 stories to what they're doing now. I mean, I am looking for things, like I said, when I brought up the battlefield stuff, but why would...
It does...
I guess it makes sense that because one of them was Adem and wasn't, remembered the Lothani and then become Chandrian. But again, you're blowing my mind with that, because...
What it makes me think is that because I'm curious, like, how's it going to be revealed what is there? So if what I'm saying is right, it could easily be revealed in that he figures out why there's the 7 Chandrian plus the Amir on that vase, and then it connects in his mind with the story that Cheyenne told him, and so then he realizes, oh shit, that location is where Aeth and Wraith fell. It could be an easy thing where, like, one more piece piece of information is delivered to Kvoth, and he ties all those things together in his mind real quickly. So it'd be an easy way to reveal to the reader exactly what that is there, and all the pieces fit, and it wouldn't have to be someone going to Kvoth and telling him the full fucking story, like, this is what was going on here, this is why this is there, this is why this is there. It would only just one piece, he's only missing one piece of information that connects the vase to the story that Shayan tells, and as soon as that piece of information is given to him that connects those two, then he could piece all the rest together in his mind. So it's just set up so well, and it could be revealed so easily that it makes me think that's the likely answer.
It is begging for significance, in the sense that why talk about the fort? Why talk about all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there has to be some significance to the area. I have a feeling there's going to be a real utility in the gray stones being utilized, like particularly, like those channels going to and from. I just get the feeling like in book 3, they're literally going to go to the Circle of Greystones to go to a particular place, and they're seeking that specific place. You know what I mean? I have a feeling there's going to be knowledge gained that they can literally utilize those portals to where there'll be more knowledge about where specifically they can go through those areas, and then there will be a reason. There's a reason why you'd want to go to this place. There'd be a reason why you want to go to some other place because of the history, and there's something there. There's some significance to that area.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, history is everything.
You have those gray stones on the hill, and you have the gray stone in Adem. There's a gray stone where when Kvoth fights that girl to get his place in the school, like it's by a gray stone. So, you know, where they have their ceremonial fights, there's a gray stone there. So that could connect, you know, why the Adem were there, and then they eventually made it there. It could be that they were traveling through these fucking portals at that time. They had that ability, knowledge. So that's how, you know, that they ended up where they ended up, is they traveled there.
It is interesting too when their story is told. I mean, they're almost like the Jews of our world, where they get banished from places and they have to go somewhere else, and they're constantly traveling to find a place to live. Yeah,
very similar with the Adem. You have Adem, Adem. Their names are similar. Fits with the Ruach. I mean, there's clearly something going on between Adem, Adem, Ruach. Like there's got to be something tying all these together. Like well, I cannot believe that these are all just independent pieces.
Well, and to layer on that, the Adem and the Adem they kind of don't fit into society in a lot of ways. Yeah. Like the larger sense of society, which again that feeds into why they're having to go to other areas. And the Adem basically make their home where they can make their home, and then when that doesn't work out, they're making their home somewhere else. It's so great too, though. Like I love that their whole their backstory, mythology, and all that, because they're extraordinarily principled people. You know, and it seems like other cultures don't tend to know much about them at all, or think about them, or even account for them. But they're extraordinary in terms of how like principled they are with what they do, and they look at everyone else as absolute savages.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of in that 99 stories is that's the origin story of where it all came from. So you even learn, yeah, because the 99 stories are the beginning of the Lithani. Like when she's laying in bed dying, she tells him the 99 stories, and the 99 stories were the first teaching of the Lithani.
Yeah, that tells me though that I think Rothfuss is a Jay-Z fan. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's his big. You're just giving him a shout out.
Yep.
He's hoping he can get Jay-Z to sign one of his books. Hang that up put up on his. Yeah, like an autograph. Like him to autograph. Over the front of the cover. Like this is my favorite book that I wrote because it's got Jay-Z's. This whole book's dedicated to Jay-Z.
Well, he really needs Jay-Z to read. Well, he also needs him to read about 1,600 pages to get to that spot. So hopefully, he's
Jay-Z's
dedicated
read this
to
book
it.
like at least 15 times by now.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Outside of Mickey Rourke, Jay-Z is going to be our number 1 fan. Number 2 fan.
I forgot about Mickey Rourke.
And Bill Bellamy, where's he falling? 2 or 3?
Oh yeah, and his son Baron. Yeah.
Oh, his
They're
son
both
Baron
really
is
into
going
it.
to hate this. His son Baron's going.
Bobby Bonilla.
Is he still
Bobby
alive?
Bonilla's into it. Huh? Yeah, he's what? Yeah, he's still alive.
I guess I just assumed.
Assume what? He's dead?
Yeah. It's best
Why?
to assume everybody's
Just assume
dead. They all die at some point.
Just
anyway.
assume everyone's dead.
Yeah. At some point, you're not going to be wrong.
That'd be interesting. So if you ran into Bobby Bonilla, if you were like you're at like a little party, whatever, dude walks up and he's like, "Oh, hey," and he says, "Hi, I'm Bobby Bonilla." You'd be like, "Oh shit, you're alive?"
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought you were dead.
No, I assumed you were dead.
That'd be awkward introductions, man. Super awkward introductions. I have nothing else on that chapter.